Welcome back to LakePoint Sports, where Southeast Select is in full effect at the Baseball Village, and we'll have our game of the day between BC Athletics and 643 DP and 17U action. I'm Cory McCartney, taking you up to first pitch at 1 p.m., and I'll be joined along the way by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham, Riley Klingman, and Grayson Rosen. This is a staged prime for big-time performances, but if you've been paying attention, that isn't all that we are looking for this summer at LakePoint Sports, as we have teamed up with Johnsonville to keep the internet juicy. QR code on screen for more information on how you can make a submission. Head on over to LakePointSports.com or any of our social channels to access the submission form, and you can do your part again. Everyone is encouraged to share these moments. So if you're the one that spotted the activity, one performing the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there is something in it for everyone, and Johnsonville might just reward you for your behavior and or participation. Now, the crown jewel event of the summer is just weeks away, and of course, we're talking about the Future Games taking place July 24th through 28th. Added this year, we'll have the Senior Future Games along with the traditional Future Games for those uncommitted players in the nation. And then there's the Junior Future Games, where players from across the U.S. and Canada come together in true tournament-style play and crown a champion. Let's get to meet one of those players that will take the stage in Ohio's Derek Ogden.
We are on the road to the Future Games presented by Publix. Cory McCartney, joined by Prep Baseball Ohio's Kyle Weldon, and we are turning our attention to the Junior Future Games, where Ohio will roll out a team that includes Derek Ogden, an infielder on his way to Hamilton-Baden High School. Kyle, tell me what you and your team saw in Derek that has him coming back to LakePoint Sports July 24th through 28th.
Yeah, we're really excited about Derek. He's a scrappy, kind of a throwback style player. From a tools perspective, he's developing there, and you watch him play, you watch him move in the infield. The glove is just really advanced for a 28. So we're extremely excited. And then every time I've seen him play live, it's barrel after barrel. Just a good player to sure up the middle of the lineup or top of the lineup for somebody.
Let's talk about the identification process for the Junior Future Games. For the Future Games and for the Senior Future Games, which are obviously new this year, you're able to identify players throughout the high school season. You don't have that luxury for the juniors. How key are the showcases then in the early summer events in finding these players?
Yeah, our Rising Stars events in the wintertime are huge for that. Just getting guys in front of us, allowing our team to have a chance to evaluate them. And then moving into early summer with Future 50 and Junior State Games, being able to see guys again. It's a huge opportunity for us to get guys together and be able to see them all in one place, evaluate them side by side. And our team did a great job selecting the group for this year.
Well, great insight, Kyle. Now let's hear from Derek Ogden.
You went to a Rising Stars event back in March. Tell me about getting on Prep Baseball's radar and ultimately getting that invite to these Junior Future Games.
I think it took a lot of hard work, especially and a lot of thanks to coaches, especially John Sullivan, my hitting coach, and even my head coach, just for helping me put the time in working to get to where I am.
How did you find out that you were getting in that invite, and what was the excitement level like?
I found out I think it was like a Friday night, and it was pretty exciting though, because it's an opportunity that not many get, so.
Yeah, it's such a crazy environment now. The Future Games obviously has a couple different parts. There's going to be the older kids who are going to have all the college coaches watching them. But you junior guys get to play an actual tournament. There's a real champion crowned. What do you think that's going to be like to come down here with a bunch of guys from Ohio, rep your state, and kind of go for a title?
I think it's going to be really, it's going to be exciting to, showcase what the state of Ohio can do for like baseball wise, and that weather wise we don't have like year-round baseball.
Yeah, you're getting an opportunity now here during the 14U National Championships to play at LakePoint Sports, kind of get used to these fields before you come back for it. What's been your impressions of everything down here and obviously the opportunity to come back?
Everything's really nice, and I definitely wouldn't mind playing here every game of every year.
You're a middle infielder. Tell me a little bit about what you feel like is the strength in this game as you get yourself headed towards that high school career.
Having good hands. You gotta quick with the baseball, because taking too much time, you're never gonna get any outs. Kids get faster and stronger.
I've seen some of the scouting reports on you talking about that quick bat path, the twitchy hands. How do you feel like you are as a hitter? Like, what do you kind of, I guess, break down the mentality of you at the plate?
Contacts, line drives for doubles, singles, and then maybe triples every once in a while.
Gotta get that speed off a little
Yeah.
bit. All right, I want to see it in motion a little bit. So let's get that bat in your hand and have you show us your setup. Sound good?
So pretty much, it's always the same. Right here, get wide and then get comfortable, and always pick up before release point. That way I'm always on time. That way I'm never behind on a fastball, so you can always attack a fastball, and then sit back, adjust off speed.
Derek, man, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. And we'll see you back here in the end of July for the junior feature games. And if you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and you'll get so much more happening here on campus. Now joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. We just had Kane Southeast against Midland Baseball facing off for the 14U National Championship. And let's give you a really unique perspective on this as we strapped a GoPro to the umpire, and he gave us his point of view behind the plate.
How's it going, man? Congratulations on making it this far.
Yes, sir.
Let's have some fun, man. Smile, you're on camera.
What's up, Cam?
Take a look and see how these teams are going to roll out today as we have BC Athletics going against 6'4", 3 DP and 17U play here from Southeast Select. BC Athletics going to lead off with Tyler Bennett, followed by Cameron Cooper, Alex Ditmore, Isaiah Whited, Sammy Green is going to be the right fielder, Cole Wessel, the pitcher, hitting 6th, Landon Wells, the second baseman, hitting 7th, Cole Hendrickson, the catcher, hitting 8th, Mac McCord, the left fielder, will hit 9th. Meanwhile, for 6'4", 3 DP, Mason Gazaway, the left fielder, will lead off, followed by center fielder John Stutzer hitting 2nd. Grayson McCullum, the third baseman, hits 3rd. Aiden Zagarin, the extra hitter, hits 4th. Anthony Zarzana, the shortstop, hits 5th. Carson Zagarin, second baseman, will hit 6th. Brady McDonough, the designated hitter, will hit 7th. Carson Vick, the catcher, hitting 8th. Colin Manning, the right fielder, hitting 9th. And Ryan Zaporinik, the first baseman, will hit 10th. Isaac Brody will be on the mound for 6'4", getting started momentarily here, and we'll join you again when we get started for first pitch. Isaac Brody on the mound. Again, I'm joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. And Hudson talked to Isaac Brody before the game. He was taking me through the arsenal a little bit and mentioned that he's never been posted on Prep Baseball's any accounts or on any LakePoint's accounts. So I told him, well, we're going to be doing play-by-play off your start here, so he was pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a newer name for us. We got to see Walker Scroll early in the year in February at Georgia Dugout Club, and didn't get the chance to see him. I know they kind of came on late, had a good little playoff push. But, yeah, this was definitely a name that I was excited to see for 643. This is a lineup that I know 1 through 9, 1 through 10. Really talented group, one of my favorite 17U teams we have in the state. So I'm definitely excited for this start. We got a guy down there behind home, so we'll make it work for him this time around.
Isaac Brody's going to get his close-up, and we'll see him facing off against a BC Athletics team that's going to lead off with Tyler Bennett. I had an opportunity to catch up with Tyler before the game today. He's going to be here as part of the senior feature games, July 24th through 28th. So it was interesting to talk to a player who's part of that senior feature games contingent and kind of see, you know, what that meant to them to be able to get that opportunity. I thought it was really cool to hear a guy in that position to say, look, last year I missed my chance to make the feature games and thought it was kind of lost on me, and now I've got that opportunity. Obviously, that's exactly why you do this, to add the senior division, but to hear one of these guys, you know, talk about the opportunity laying ahead of him here in a couple weeks, thought that was really cool.
Yeah, funny enough, we actually have 3 senior future gamers on this 643 squad with a couple more that could potentially sneak in if you know, some cards fell right with some, you know, drops and injuries for other states. But the Zagrin twins will be representing Georgia this year. They were junior future gamers back a few years ago, and then we'll have Peyton Robideau, a right-handed pitcher for them, throwing tomorrow actually. That'll be on there as well. But this team is really talented. Could have quite a few guys on that future games team on this from this 643 team if we were able to have a full squad. But having the 7, 8, 9 guys on Georgia being mixed with Florida and South Carolina make these rosters a little tricky.
Brody fires for a strike to start things off against Tyler Bennett at Christian Academy in Knoxville, the 11th ranked shortstop in Tennessee, number 65 overall. Just rattled off a 60 time recently of 6.85, 98 exit velo as he swings through. Told me he thinks maybe he might be able to get a little bit faster at future games, and I said, hey, everybody's a little bit amped for that environment, so don't be surprised if you rip off a number and then kind of have your eyes bug a little bit, because I've heard plenty of guys say they didn't think they were going to run that fast, or I didn't think I was going to throw that hard. It happens in that environment.
Yeah, and what's cool about that event too is like these guys swing wood for majority of the summer, and then they get a metal bat put back in their hands. So always a fun time for BP rounds. I think Team Georgia could open up some eyes during our BP rounds, both for the 26s and 25s. The Zagrin twins can definitely put on a show in BP, so looking forward to that. But yeah, I did a quick search on Brody real quick. Obviously, I knew the name, I just haven't got to see him. But max fastball on our site was 86, and he's already bumped to 87 and 88. So he's obviously progressed since last time he's been at LakePoint. So really like what I see so far.
Bennett fouls that off. The count is now full.
And I would, if I had the chance to see this kid, I would have been all over it, because being a lefty myself, always looking out for those guys, and he threw a lot harder than I ever did. So a lot to like here. And this is exactly what the senior future game is for. You know, guys like Isaac Brody, obviously not going to be there for us, but you know, guys like that, as these 25s, some develop a lot later than others. You know, so Zagrins are the same way. The Zagrins really took off this spring, you know, strength-wise. So excited to have them there as he blows that one by him.
Yeah, swing and a miss, and Tyler Bennett goes down on strike. So one down, and turn things over to Cameron Cooper. Cooper from Bearden High School in Tennessee, 30th ranked outfielder in Tennessee, 157 overall.
I love the delivery here from Isaac Brody. Really smooth, kind of interesting, but really gets behind it once he gets to that balance point and really drives down the mound.
It's in for a strike. The little step back like that, obviously you, as a former pitcher, you know, the more things that you have mechanically, you can get out of rhythm, get out of sync, and can be hard to get yourself back. Is that something you find sometimes problematic in scouting a guy who has mechanics who have a lot of moving parts?
It depends. Some guys, you know, they need it. They need that rhythm. They need that kind of consistency in their delivery to keep them on time. Matthew Sharman's a great example of that, one of our top 26s in the state. He's got a little, you know, rhythm with his feet that he gets going. And here for Isaac Brody, if I'm guessing, I bet he has a little, you know, a little messing with timing with that big delivery like that. He might slide step every now and then. But seeing it from Isaac, I do like it. It just depends on, you know, if the pitcher, how well he moves and how well he gets down the mound with that delivery.
We have a runner at second now with one down.
And
misses.
Assuming we have a clean outing here from Isaac Brody, I would say the old Twitter post will get out on him. We'll have quite a few quite a few bookmarks on it with an upper 80s uncommitted 2025 lefty. So we'll definitely make up for not seeing him in the past.
There you go. Right back to second. Gathers throws in time for the second out. Cameron Cooper will advance to third. Going to bring up Isaiah Whited. Whited from Bearden, number 11 first baseman in Tennessee, number 122 overall. He was in a 6'2", 200 pounds. He's got to run it at third with one out. Whited right up the middle as that one gets through. This plate the first run of the game, so Isaiah Whited comes through with an RBI single that almost just went through the wicket. I think that's technically a nutmeg we nearly had there of Isaiah Brody. Go from Isaiah Whited to Sammy Green. Green from another Bearden player, 5'10", 180.
This BC Athletics group, they're another group that we get to see a lot throughout the summer.
Yeah.
They come down here a lot and play, always have really quality teams. So we kind of have that trend rolling on the stream. But yeah, we could see this 6-4-3 team later in the week, I believe, too. Maybe on Tuesday. They're definitely deep on the mound and really experienced at the plate.
Now throw over first, got him in a.
Looks like you got him.
Yeah, they got him a second. Camera just cut away just a second. Thought maybe we were going to have a rundown, but they get the runner at second. And so Strandon was done. End up Strandon won, and see are still scoreless here as we're through half an inning. You were watching the Southeast Select from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Back at LakePoint Sports, Cole Wessel going to be on the mound for BC Athletics. 6'4" DP going to get their first shot at him at the plate. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham, Mason Gazaway, John Stutzer, and Grayson McCallum will be at the plate this half an inning for 6'4" DP. And Grayson, I think it's safe to say, Hudson, that 6'4" has cornered the market on players whose last names start with Z in the state of Georgia. I mean, you have the Zagarin twins, you've got Zarzana, you've got Zaparanik. Then you go a little bit further down, they've also got Anthony Zarzana. I mean, it's like four guys here. They all start with the last name. Last name start with Z. I don't think there's anybody else in the state that can say that.
No, definitely. I just got a funny funny gift from our vice president of scouting, Shooter Hunt. I sent him a screenshot of him saying the short porch in right field in Tallahassee is going to be very kind to Tibbs in a few years. With the draft looming this evening, we got to see James Tibbs at a showcase back in like 2019. So that'll be crazy to see tonight as he's projected to go in the first round.
Yeah, I remember seeing him here with Pope. We were actually talking to John Stutzer, slipped the name Grayson in there, thinking about Stutzer and Florida State. They did a little extra base walk and talk earlier, and he was talking about getting to hit with James Tibbs this past fall. So he's really excited to see a guy who's on his way to Florida State, seeing a guy who's made his way through Florida State now get ready to get drafted.
Yeah, Stutzer is definitely one of my favorite players in the state. One of my favorite players I've covered in my short 2 years as scouting director. But Gazaway is another one. He's came on strong. I don't know if you could find a better left-handed kind of contact speed hitter that's left on the market right now. So college coaches, this is a guy that he's a gamer. You know, he can hit for contact, hit for average. It's all-around really good player.
And for strike, he is the 44th ranked outfielder in Georgia in 2025, 194 overall, 60 tying down to 6.79. Exit velos around 95.8.
Yeah, he's been swinging it well this week. Ian went over to see these guys at Georgia Highlands, and he had a triple down the line and then had 2 hits yesterday in the 8 a.m. game when we were watching them. So Gazaway's definitely a guy that's a big riser from this spring.
He's got a 2-2 count as he swings through that, goes down on strikes against Cole Wessel out of Central High School in Tennessee. A little bit of a spin move there for Gazaway on that swing, and here comes John Stutzer.
Yeah, we were talking to Stutzer. He had quite the time in Arizona. He went to an event out there, and he said that heat out there is no joke. It was like 110 one day, he said. But he hit a ball 100 dead center yesterday. Was a homer away from the cycle in that 8 a.m. game.
#1 shortstop in Georgia, 3rd overall, number 44 in the country in this class.
Yeah, this is one of those that we want to put the athlete description beside.
Yeah,
he can play center field. He can play shortstop. He can play anywhere on the field, honestly. You pull up some football highlights, and you'd think he's going Power 5 for football.
6'6", 260. Yeah, he was Region Offensive Player of the Year last year in football for Pope.
All over that one.
Yeah, big swing in him. Send that one back to the backstop.
Yeah, I got to see him early last spring with Pope, and it was this guy leading off. He could really run. He actually pitched the very first game that I saw him at against North Forsyth and was like mid-80s on the mound. And I was like, kind of circled his name, keep an eye on him for future games, and sure enough, he continued to progress. You know, made it all the way to the state championship and had a really good game against them. Led off the game with a triple against Houston County, and the rest is kind of history from there.
Man, absolutely rips that 94 off the bat in left field for a base hit as he rounds the bag. A violent swing at 94.9 to get himself at first.
Yeah, strong. Hit 104 the first day of the tournament with Wood. So it's dynamic as they come for the class.
We'll be standing at first base, and we'll have Grayson McCullum from Wesleyan School, Kennesaw State commit, 17th ranked shortstop in Georgia, 103 overall in the class of 25.
Yeah, this will be a really good one for Kennesaw State. I think he has the potential to potentially be a two-way guy for them here in a couple years. Really special arm talent on the mound. Upper 80s, low 90s guy. So
yeah, I was going to ask you about that, about the two-way potential of a guy who's teetering with 90 with the fastballs. They're going to have Stutzer in a rundown. It's on way back to second. Get him at the bag. So Stutzer in a rundown. So there's going to be now 2 outs with McCullum at the plate. Was going to ask you, though, a guy who is near 90 with the fastball, 60 time, 7-0, exit velo is 91, whether or not you saw two-way potential for him at a landing spot like Kennesaw State.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're able to, take chances on guys with this two-way upside to where, he could be a shortstop long-term, he could be an arm long-term. You really never know. I mean, a great example of that is Justin Robleski from Sequoia, who just made his MLB debut with the Dodgers. He went into Clemson as an outfielder almost, and then turns into a full-time pitcher, and now he's making a debut in the major league. So I think a lot of these guys are like that. We talked about it last time with so many two-way guys on our Future Games team this year. I think that you're going to see more and more kids that are so athletic and so talented you can't pin them into one or the other right away.
That'll bring up Aiden Zagarin of the Zagarin twins from Blessed Trinity. Interesting dynamic here. You've got Aiden, who is 61st overall in the class. You've got Carson, who's 52nd overall. A lot of the measurables and stuff that you guys have on them are so close together.
So close.
So how do you differentiate between two guys like that? Is it like, okay, well, when we saw him in a showcase, you know, Aiden was just a little bit better? Like,
no, I mean, you truly flip a coin with them. Like, I've been to many of their games. One game, Carson's 3 for 4 with a home run and a double. Next game I go to, Aiden does the same exact thing. You know, I think they have identical blast metrics numbers on their swings at preseason All-State. But, I mean, they're both – you really can't differentiate that much. I mean, defensive ability a little bit, I get confused. One plays a little more second base, third base than the other one. The other one's more over at first base some. But, yeah, I mean, the physicality at the plate is what's going to take them to the next level. I know they're already talking to a lot of guys, but I really hope they come to future games and – you know, find what they're looking for in a school in a couple of years.
Yeah, they will both be at senior future games. They were both junior future games players in 2021 for Georgia. So a unique full circle moment for them as they get to come out one more time and see if they can pen that path for wherever they're going to be playing together in college, because they have been clear that they want to stick together at the next level. So it would be an awesome opportunity to skies that one into left field. And we'll go down with the pop out. So we'll have lots more opportunities to talk about the Zagarins as we go along. We are watching a 1-0 game for BC Athletics. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
To LakePoint Sports as we move along to the second inning in our game of the day from Southeast Select play here between BC Athletics and 643 DP. BC Athletics leading 1-0. Cory McCartney joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. Isaac Brody still on the mound for 643 as he comes out for another inning, and he will be facing Sammy Green, Cole Wessel, and Landon Wells for BC Athletics, as we saw Sammy Green at the plate during the first inning, and a bat that ended with a run thrown out at second base. So we'll see what he does with his technically second look here at Isaac Brody. Brody rock steps, throws. And Green will be followed by Wessel and Wells. Comes the 2-0. makes it 3-0. Brody can get himself back on track here and does not get that first strike, so he will walk Green on 4 pitches, and that'll bring up Cole Wessel, the opposing pitcher.
Yeah, sometimes he's all over it there. Sometimes you just need to reset with maybe a breaking ball or a changeup. Get that fastball back in there, but all around the zone there. We'll see if he can get back in there right here.
Throw over to keep Green on check.
Yeah, this 6-4-3 Cougars team, they're filled with uncommitted 25s. I mean, they got a couple of committed guys, Grayson, McCollum.
Yep.
You know, I think there's a pitcher or two maybe, but that are committed. But pretty much this whole infield is a really, really strong uncommitted group. Anthony Zarzana at shortstop. He was out at Top Prospect games this summer, so really good player there. We didn't get a chance to see him in the spring as he plays academy ball, but really good uncommitted shortstop for the Cougars. Carson Vick behind the dish. He's been one that I've really liked. I got to see him, I guess, last year at Hillgrove, kind of in their playoff run, and then one that I really, followed throughout the spring this year and into the summer, and just really good all-around player. Can play third, really good behind the dish, tough out at the plate. So I'll be anxious to see where he lands to go in a couple years. Good breaking ball there. That's kind of what I was talking about there. 0-1, got him 0-2, big out here.
He's got a 0-2. I want to get the pitch velocity on the throw over to first from Brody. He throws it like he's throwing a pitch.
Little snap move there.
Yeah, little snap move there, but the one before,
yeah, no,
you actually saw the leg go up, and yeah, there was some velocity on that. It's his 3rd throw over to Green so far.
Good fastball up there, 0-2.
So 0-2 was the count. Brody delivers. Watches strike 3. He goes down on strikes. Nice piece of pitching there from Isaac Brody for his 2nd K. Go from Cole Wessel to Landon Wells. Landon Wells, the 5th-ranked second baseman in Tennessee, 106 overall. Exit velos at 89.3. Bat speed a little over 70. Also gets on the mound, where he's into the low 80s.
I guess you mentioned a couple of these guys will square off here in a few weeks. I think Tennessee's with, I guess, technically the Deep South maybe for the 17U future games. So I think we'll get a chance to play them. So a couple of these guys will get to play each other again here in a few weeks.
Yeah, Bennett, the lone player on this BC Athletics team that will be back for future games. That is in for a strike. Nine ranked players within their state here on BC Athletics, but Bennett, the lone one who will be back for the future games events.
Yeah, Tennessee is another state to where they could, Hunter Martin over there could fill a whole team of 25s as well. It's just, it's crazy the amount of guys that just keep popping up. Like I mentioned, they, develop late, and Jackson Rose is another one on this 6-4-3 team. Had Tommy John a couple years ago with Etowah. Good throw there by Carson Vick.
Yeah, nice job by Vick taking Green down, and he was probably wondering if somebody had something against him. I think they threw over to him 4 times, eventually get him trying to swipe second. So now a 3-1 count and 2 outs for Wells.
Jackson Rose, he had a really good game yesterday for the Cougars on the mound. Like I mentioned, he missed a year with Tommy John at Etowah, but got to throw a good amount this year and has been throwing really well this summer. So I'll be excited to see him out at the future games here in a couple weeks.
So Wells walks, and that brings up Cole Hendrickson, the catcher. Hendrickson, William Blount High School out of Tennessee. Pop time's down to 195. Catcher velo at 74, but we're going to see him at the plate obviously now, where he's got exit velos just right around 90 miles an hour. Sends that one back foul. 1-0 lead for BC Athletics as we saw a shot that went right back up the middle, score a run. Missed by Brody, runs it to 1-1.
Yeah, that curveball looks like it's just getting away from him a little bit. He's landed a couple of really, really good ones. I know he's trying to spin that thing really, you know, pull down really hard on it, so just can't get a really good grip on it.
Holds back, makes it 3-1. No, excuse me, 2-1. Getting a little ahead of myself here. There's swing and a miss. Throw back to first.
Good throw there by Vic. Yeah, I think that timing that we talked about in the windup, I think it does help him a little bit more in the windup. I think, as you can see in the stretch, he's just, you know, the arms lagging just a hair. You know, getting that miss up and away usually means the arm's just a little late, but that, you know, that timing and rhythm in that windup keeps him on time. Good swing and a miss there.
Gets himself another strikeout. Nice job by Isaac Brody responding and stranding a runner. It's 1-0 lead for BC Athletics. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Where's it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty Mike.
Back at LakePoint Sports, our game of the day from Southeast Select Pool Play in 17U action. BC Athletics against 6'4" DP. Cory McCartney joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. We're going to see Anthony Zarzana, Carson Zager and Brady McDonough at the plate for DP Cougars as they try to respond and answer that BC Athletics run from the first inning.
Yeah, we got a good little left-on-left matchup here between Isaac Brody and our BC arm here.
That's Cole Wessel on the mound for BC, and out of Central High School in Tennessee. The final warm-up pitch from Wessel. And maybe give him one more. Got Under Armour basketball going on over at the Champions Center right now. Some volleyball action as well over at the Beach Pavilion. So as always, another jam-packed weekend here at LakePoint Sports.
I popped over there just for a second the other day, and yeah, that Under Armour tournament always seems like a really big event over there.
Yeah, these live recruiting period events for basketball are a smorgasbord for the coaches to come here and see talent from all over. So a nice opportunity for these guys to show out, just like we've been talking about what will await these baseball players here in a couple weeks, especially for the 2026s when they're able to be in contact with recruiters as of August 1st. And we'll see the floodgates open and guys committing like crazy coming out of future games.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting for these college coaches to navigate. You know, them bringing in almost full recruiting classes almost and from the transfer portal. These 26, I think 26s may be okay. I think, you know, the 25 group, I think it, you know, will come into effect a good bit, especially some of these uncommitted guys. But the thing is the guys that they don't find in the transfer portal, they're going to be committing for 25. So
Zarzana skies that one into right field and caught for the first out. Now we get look at Carson Zagrin. Carson, the 52nd ranked player in Georgia to his brother's 61st.
Yeah, Carson's playing second today. He can also play over on the corner. Aiden plays a little bit more first base, but I mean, long term, you know, you never know where they end up. I think they're going to keep themselves in a lineup just with the way they can swing it. So, you know, they can end up on a corner outfield spot. I think they're really athletic. They both were pretty good pitchers back junior future games, 14U year. So, we'll see.
Big hack to make it 1-1.
That Blessed Trinity team, they're going to be a tough team to beat next year. I think they're going to be, you know, got put out a little bit earlier the state playoffs than they would have liked to, but I think they'll be back and really, really strong next year.
Wessel loses his handle on that one, makes it 2-1.
I believe they dropped down a classification as well to 4A. So I haven't even got a chance to look at those new regions yet with the 7A getting cut out.
Yep. Yeah, going to be some changes afoot in GHSA for sure. It counts now 2-2.
I can't keep up with it. They're changing so much. I'll just get feeling good about all the regions, knowing who I'm looking for and who they're going to play, and then next they change it on me.
Count is now full to Carson Zagrin. He's got Brady McDonough in the on-deck circle. Man, he absolutely ropes that.
Just got around it. The thing about the Zagrin twins, they're not going to get cheated, that's for sure. They like the fastball up. You know, they can get their hands to it. They're strong enough. When they get the barrel out in front, it's going to go. But they stay through the middle of the field. I've seen a couple home runs for both of them throughout the high school season, but, you know, just really good approaches at the plate.
It's hit squarely in the back, so he's on his way down to first base. So now we'll see Brady McDonough with one on.
Yeah, McDonough here, another really good uncommitted left-handed bat in the 6'4" lineup.
5'11", 160-pounder out of Alpharetta.
The thing about these 6'4" kids is I think that, you know, Danny and Jake over there, they do a great job with their players. So I don't think they're sweating the fact that they're uncommitted as 25s, you know, headed into their senior year of high school. Those guys do a great job with those guys. We had coaches changing their flights to see Jackson Rose pitch yesterday. So they go to work for their players. So these guys got nothing to worry about.
Go with a 1-0 count to McDonough. Misses high. Carson Zagrin with a 60 time around 7-2, a little behind his brother, but obviously still a threat on the base pass.
Yeah, good first step. They both move well. So with a good lead and a good jump, they could definitely steal some bags.
Hillgrove's Carson Vick in the on-deck circle. 3-0 gets that in for a strike. Holds back, but runs the count full.
Yeah, tough pitch there, especially for a lefty, that left outer half.
Comes the payoff pitch. So a hit by pitch and a walk, and now we're going to be 2 on for Carson Vick. Vick, the 9th ranked catcher in Georgia in 25, 96 overall. Got a chance to get 6-4-3 on the board with 1 down here in the second.
Yeah, Hillgrove, they're putting together, they got some young guys coming up, so I think that they should be in for a strong 24-25 season. They were kind of one of my dark horses last year that kind of snuck in and ended up having a really good year. Avery Wilson's another senior with Carson that kind of lead the way for them, but they got quite a few younger guys coming through the system, so they'll be a fun group to watch next year.
Carson Vicks had an opportunity before him here with 1 down, 2 on. Wessel fires down the middle for strike 1. Let's go to the same spot, but misses to run it to 1-1. Delivers. Vic jumps on this one, sends it to short. Gathers, throws the third for 1 out to jump out of the way.
Good play there by the shortstop. That's a play they don't always, get a chance to make every day. So good job getting his feet set and making a good throw there. Had plenty of time. Got Colin Manning coming up here at Johns Creek High School.
Manning, outfielder, left-handed pitcher.
I got to see him maybe once or twice this year. Actually, against Blessed Trinity, I think.
We're going to get our courtesy runner for Vic. Bit of a delay in the action here.
Yeah, I don't know what we got going on.
Unclear if somebody's already warming up for BC and they're just trying to give a little bit of extra time for some warm-up pitches, or just some other delay in action.
Yeah, can't tell. Might be swapping out a position player. I don't know what they have going on.
All right, nonetheless, we will get things going here now with Colin Manning against Wessel. 2 on, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. One miss at 76.
Yeah, lefty heavy lineup for the Cougars here, so good matchup for Wessel. It seems like he gets around it just a little bit against lefties. I know the fastball on the inner half is a tough pitch for lefties to hit, but as a pitcher, it's also a really tough pitch to get there too.
Another miss makes it 3-0. 1 pitch away potentially of loading the bases.
Got the lineup about to flip back over here. Luckily got 2 outs, so nothing hurt here. We'll see the 10 hole coming up next.
So he walked. Oh, it's in for a strike. Looked like it could be ball 4, but the at-bat will continue for Manning.
Yeah, catcher had to bring that down a little bit, but 3-0. I'm sure Colin's wanting to hit as well. These 17U guys, they're here to hit.
Another strike, runs the count full. Could be a big moment here for Wessel if he can get out of this with a strikeout or a ground out and end up stranding 2. His team up 1-0. Manning skies that one into left field on the run. Camps underneath it and makes the catch to get out of it. So 6-4-3 DP does indeed strand 2. Nice job by Wessel there to get out of the jam. 1-0 is the lead for BC Athletics, and we will be back from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Back here at LakePoint Sports, on to the third inning in our game of the day from Southeast Select 17U play between BC Athletics and 6'4" DP Cory McCartney, along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. Isaac Brody back on the mound for 6'4". He'll be facing off against Mac McCord, and then the top of the order, Tyler Bennett and Cameron Cooper for BC Athletics. We saw a change in Isaac Brody when he had to pitch from the stretch there in the second inning, so see him back in his comfort zone here from the windup as he'll face off against McCord. And certainly you wonder, a guy, Hudson, I mean, how do you kind of translate that rhythm that you get from being in the windup to the stretch when it's such a big part of how you deliver it to begin with?
Yeah, I think it starts with the arm speed. I think that he just needs to get comfortable with that arm speed out of the stretch as well. I think, assuming that he's kind of seen a velo jump within the recent months, obviously having 86 on the profile and then bumped to 88 in the first, but now we're kind of settling in that low to mid 80s mark. It's all about kind of figuring that out. You see that with these kids a lot. Once they kind of hit a big velo jump, it takes them a little bit to understand that velo, understand how their arm works, and kind of know what the pitch is going to do with that added velocity. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for Brody is just understanding that arm speed.
He's facing off against Mac McCord from Maryville High School in Tennessee, 8th ranked second baseman in Tennessee, 168 overall in the class. 5'8", 165. He watches that in for a strike. Two hits for 6'4" so far, one for BC Athletics, but they've made it count as they lead 1-0. Another one right up the middle. Short gathers, throws in time for the out. Nice job there at short from Anthony Zarzana. Gonna make a quick throw there. He was hustling down the line. There's Tyler Bennett as we go to the top of the order for BC Athletics. You saw what Tyler just did there. He told me a big thing for him to make sure that he is knobbed through the ball is to kind of have think about his hip. So he kind of goes through his hip with it, and he says that kind of cue really helps him to stay through the zone. Is he able to pump that one to third, though, and will be grounding out for the second.
Good first pitch breaking ball by Brody there. I think that's the first one we've seen from him today. But good pitch there. Kind of had some sweeping action to it. There's a couple that he's kind of flipping more 12-6, but I don't know if he's trying to throw both a slider and a curveball.
He is, yeah. He told me he said he's got a slider and, and a curve.
Yeah, so that makes sense. The guy we had back there, he was actually asking me. He's like, I can't figure out what he's trying to throw, but that makes sense.
Dribbler to the right side.
Good inning there by Brody with the top coming back up.
So Brody gets out of it. Still 1-0 deficit, though, as 6'4" goes back and see if they can square this thing up. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard? Front yard. Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Bottom of the third inning in our game of the day in Southeast Select play. This is 17U pool play. BC Athletics against 6'4" DP. Cole Wessel will be taking on Ryan Zaporaniak, and then we are back to the top of the order for Mason Garzaway and John Stutzer for 6'4" DP as they try to even this thing up. And so far 2 hits for them, 1 for BC Athletics, but BC Athletics has made that hit count as they continue to lead 1-0. There's 43 pitches so far for Wessel.
We're only in the third inning, but I can guarantee a 6'4" will find a way to produce at least 1 run. They're always known for that. I think last week we had the 14U they were down 1 run late in the game. They did their famous guy falls down at first base.
Yep.
We had a errant throw, and the next thing you know, we're tied and they walk it off. So 6'4" is known to produce runs whatever way they can.
Zaporaniak fouls that off out of North Springs High School, 6'3", 185-pound, 2024 playing on the 17U team.
One thing about 6'4" is that, you know, you see a lot of guys that stick with them throughout their travel ball career, which I think can play big benefits for them. The Zagrin twins been playing since 13U, you know, maybe even before that. So.
And this makes it 2-1. Again, we're to the top of the order in Mason Gazaway after we see Zaporaniak. 2-1, he's swinging, skies that. Third base underneath it. Takes his time, he's got it. So it'll be 1 down. Alex Ditmore hauls that one in. Back to Mason Gazaway. Gazaway 60 time of 6.79. Shortstop on the run, going to be 2 outs.
Good first pitch breaking ball there by Wessel. Gazaway kind of saw it late. I think he was, you know, sitting fastball, but just kind of out in front of that there.
John Stutzer 1 for 1. Roped one into left field in his first at bat.
Yeah, good tournament for Stutzer so far. Home run short of the cycle yesterday. I think we'll get to see him back-to-back weekends. So
back for 17U National Championship
they should
next
be.
weekend.
Yeah, they should be. I believe so.
It'll be a fun one leading right into the feature game. So we'll have the championship game a week from Tuesday in the 17U division. This is to make it 2-0.
Yeah, we'll get going on Wednesday with that. Not our typical schedule that we've had the last few weeks. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but always a big tournament for us to end the year before future games.
Now 3-0.
Yeah, you don't want to walk Stutzer. He'll be on second here shortly if we do get the walk here, especially with 2 outs and the 3-hole coming up. I would say he'll be running
6.62 in the 60.
Yeah, and Stutzer's one of those guys that you can talk about game speed too. He's just like, obviously he's got the tools. He can showcase all the tools, you know, with the best of them, but something about in-game, he just ticks it up another notch. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see early movement from him. But obviously with that lefty move, might be able to keep him at bay.
Well, they got him into a rundown last time.
Yeah, they did get him. Yep, for sure. They kind of got him in no man's land with that catcher, but on this lefty, I think you got to go first move, and there he goes. Yep.
Yeah, easily taken off. Cole Hendrickson was in his second position, but mattered nothing as Stutzer just easily got second base. He winds his way into third. Guy this fast, a little bit harder move for the catcher, the pitcher to try to get him at third, and he's taken off. Hendrickson throws the third, not going to be in time as Stutzer's got his second stolen base.
Yeah, didn't stop his feet there. I think if you would have stopped, you know, gave him a hard look, I think he would have stayed, but he didn't stop his feet at all. And, you know, with a guy like that, with that speed, he's not stopped moving them and headed on into third.
Threatening here to get 6'4", 3 DP on the board. 1-1 is the count to McCullum. Ropes that one, 94 off the bat.
I think he knows it's gone. Nope, got in the gap.
One hits the wall, but Stutzer's going to score, and he's going to be standing on second base. Just misses that. We nearly had a backtrack gone moment. Instead, McCullum comes through with an RBI single, and we are all notched up at 1-1 here in the third inning.
Big swing there by Grayson McCullum. 2 outs. Got to be able to put runners on the board.
Like how Stutzer started running backwards just so he could track the ball flight as well. Let's see if that thing was gone.
I kind of saw the pitcher's reaction. I thought he might have got it, but kind of to the deepest part of the field and left center. Just missed it. I feel like I hadn't got a home run on video in a while. Finally got one this morning. Thomas Thigpen of Titans hit a towering 99 EV home run.
We've got McCullum with an exit velo top of 91, so I think we can officially go in and update his baseball profile now.
I don't think he's been to the event in a while. Ever since he committed to Kennesaw, we haven't really seen him. I saw him a couple times this year for Wesleyan. They made a really good run, and he was kind of the leader of that team. So he'll be back again next year. They got some good 26s, so we might be able to see them back in the playoffs again.
Now we get Aiden Zagarin. It says Carson on the scoreboard, but do believe that go off the, this is Aiden Zagarin. Carson's going to bat a little bit later. I think we got things a little bit flipped in our digital lineup. So Carson Zagarin will be followed by Anthony Zarzana. Carson 0 for 1.
Pitch recognition for both these guys, I think, is a really big trait for them. They see pitches really well. They don't strike out a lot. Yeah, I knew he was sitting at 2-0 for sure, looking for a pitch to hit.
Wessel's got him 2-1, working very quickly. Gets away from Hendrickson. Three ones to count to Zagarin. Zarzana in the on-deck circle.
Just a hair late on that fastball up.
Skies that. Center fielder's got it, gathers, and we are all tied up at 1-1 as we move along into the fourth inning. You are watching our game of the day from Southeast Select.
Next. Next. Stop.
We got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Back at LakePoint Sports, all notched up at 1-1 in our game of the day from Southeast Select between BC Athletics and 6'4" DP. Isaac Bodie on the mound for 6'4", and he will be getting a shot at Alex Ditmore for BC Athletics. Will be followed by Isaiah Whited and Sammy Green.
I know you always have some stuff teed up for the draft. Many guys played here throughout?
Oh, yeah. We've got 30-plus guys
Nice.
so far, I mean, including Charlie Condon, who could, I don't know that he's going to go number one in this draft, but certainly a threat to be number one pick by the Guardians. But, yeah, I mean, you go on and on and on, the number of guys who, we've seen come through here. I mean, it's really kind of staggering. I mean, even the guys when you think about, the ones that have gone on through the college ranks. But, I mean, of course, Connor Griffin, who was Prep Baseball's National Player of the Year. We had Connor here many times playing for Knights Nation along the way.
Caminetti, he was All-American, right?
Yep,
All-American
just
game
on
guy.
and on and on. I mean, there's so many guys that made their way through here. Think about even guys like, Gerangelo Sigenti at Mississippi State, the ambidextrous pitcher. Had him here. Was actually on the same team with Karsten Sabathia. So he walked to Ditmore. So yeah, we'll have a number of those. Was talking to Shooter Hunt last week when we were getting ready to do a Coffee and Curveballs episode, and I think he's just ready for this next couple days to be over so he can kind of just exhale. Obviously, it's a lot of build up for them, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going to how they're covering the draft.
Yeah, and our coverage for it, it's really starting to ramp up. We're having a lot more resources to be able to see a lot more guys. Ian Smith, our assistant director here in Georgia, he's a really big part of that. He's a part of that kind of draft HQ team that he got to see a lot of players in the last couple years before he kind of transitioned over to Georgia. But should be an exciting night. Hearing a lot of talk about Terrence Keel, with the Texas A&M situation they got going on. He's a real signable guy at this point, it seems like. So athletic future gamer out of Pace Academy. So we'll kind of see where he ends up. Rustin Rigdon's on the board. I think he'll end up at college. But got quite a few Georgia guys bouncing around.
It's actually going to be it for Isaac Brody. Surprisingly, he's going to be exiting here in the 4th inning after 40 pitches. It allowed just one hit. Be interested to know the thought process as he exits. Yeah, going to be a nice crop for sure, and it really does open your eyes to the amount of guys who do come through these doors here at LakePoint Sports that ultimately end up getting to hear their names called. It may be that they went the college route instead of getting drafted right out of high school, but even a guy like I mentioned, James Tibbs, out of Pope, just like John Stutzer coming out of Florida State with Stutzer now a Florida State commit. We've had Tibbs here playing for Pope, and there's
many times.
Real opportunity. I think that Tibbs is going to be a first-round pick as well. So on and on and on with the number of guys that we've had here, and which kind of makes you that much more excited about an event like the Future Games, and you're thinking, okay, which one of these guys are we going to be thinking about in 3 years? Or 4 years, should they go to college, and having the same conversations about them? Yeah,
I agree. And we had a good showing from Georgia guys in the MLB, the Futures, I guess is what they call their Futures games. Cam Collier from Mount Perrin actually took home MVP, had a big home run in the game, competed in the home run derby. He actually went to Chipola, I guess, a semester early.
He did, yeah.
And went down there and then got drafted out of there. So cool to see that. I actually went to Chipola as well, so always cool seeing those guys, progress and look like they're on a path to get to the MLB club.
So our pitching change will bring us Paget Wilson from Riverwood International Charter School. Fastball right teetering on 80. Oh, nails him in the back of the neck.
Similar to the Orioles-Yankees situation.
Yeah.
Not the same situation, but
sure.
same spot.
Well, nasty pitch will give us runners at first and second. So a miss from Wilson. Now we'll have Sammy Green. Yeah, Isaac Brody didn't look like he was running into too much trouble, but obviously didn't like something about that leadoff walk.
Yeah, you never know. These 17U guys, they have so much going on right now. They're trying to squeeze in camps when they can and visits, I'm sure. So, but yeah, I really like the look from Isaac Brody.
Well, nice performance by him. Again, just one hit allowed, one run. We're all notched up here at 1-1 in the 4th. Again, now Paget Wilson on the mound for 6-4-3. He's got runners at first and second, facing Sammy Green. Green shows bunt, pulls back. Carson Vick was just hoping somebody was going to make the wrong move.
Yeah, I think if he saw that guy at second a little bit earlier, I think he looked over at first, but he might have had that guy at second. He kind of got caught after that bunt attempt.
One the count to Green, shows bunt again, gets it down this time right in front of Vick, bounces back.
A little backspin on it.
Yeah. Sammy Green will be followed by opposing pitcher Cole Wessel. The 1-2. Bounces to make it 2-2. Fires down the middle for the punch out. Nice job by Paget Wilson with the rebound there, and had Sammy Green frozen for the first out.
Yeah, interesting arm slot here. He kind of looks like he's coming up high, but it's kind of like a high 3/4. Looks like it kind of has a little late life to it. Obviously, good frame there.
Riverwood International Charter School, not an institution I'm familiar with.
Yeah, they were in our region one year back when I was in high school. I haven't got a chance to see. I didn't get a chance to see them this past year, but
the 1-0 from Wilson. Wessel ropes this one up the middle.
looks like we'll have a play here with Stutzer in center.
Oh, Stutzer hesitates just a bit, but third base runner was unable to go.
Yeah, he was holding him up, but Stutzer was obviously thinking 4.
Could have had some magic there, but the bases will be loaded. So we go from Cole Wessel with the single to now Landon Wells.
Stutzer's been spending a lot of time both at short and in center. Saw him in center yesterday, back in center today. Saw a lot of time at shortstop for Pope, but obviously we talked about real versatile, can do them both. Good spot there.
That's in for a strike. Yeah, talked to Stutzer for a few moments about the state championship game against Etowah. Said they just, yeah, obviously you were there too. They said they just weren't themselves in that first game and really put themselves into a bind. And
yeah, those Etowah arms coming at them are no joke either. And it's just going to be more of the same next year.
Yep.
Jackson Rose, I would assume, will be a starter for them next year with losing Angelakos and Caleb Hughes. So
yep.
Matthew Sharman, Jackson Rose, probably be a good 1-2 punch.
Knocks that in for a strike. Nice job by Paget Wilson. Gets himself a second strikeout.
Yeah, that was a good pitch there. Catcher kind of set up outside, but it kind of backed up on him. So hitter probably thought that might have been inside, but pretty good pitch there.
Working his way out of a jam so far. The bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, this is one of those guys that he's got to be down in the zone. Obviously gets good life, you know, getting guys froze on the fastball, like right there. Just misses on the outer half, but as long as he's down in the zone, I think he can produce, you know, weak contact, soft ground balls.
He's facing Cole Hendrickson, who is 0 for 1. Nearly the identical pitch to the last one. The first one actually looked a better location than that one, but the count's now 1-1.
Yeah, I think that fastball's got a little bit of movement on it, so might be moving more times than others, but
a little more tail to it.
Yeah. Good pitch there.
Yeah, nice job. He's got him at 1-2.
Yeah, and you see how that stuff's kind of working out of that same high 3/4 slot. It's really hard to pick up on that breaking ball and the fastball out of the hand. So see if he can get a big strikeout here. Probably breaking ball in the outer half or try to freeze him on a fastball.
Wilson fires, swing and a miss, and Absolutely does it. Nice job by Paget Wilson. 3 strikeouts and gets out of a bases-loaded jam. We are all notched up. Man, what an impressive inning out of that kid. Notched up at 1-1. We will be back. You're watching our game of the day from the Southeast Select.
Just burgers? It's just boring. Get your sausage on and keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
LakePoint Sports is partnering with Johnsonville to highlight positive actions, good sportsmanship, and selfless acts associated with the youth sports that we love. Any and everyone is encouraged to share these moments, so whether you're the one who spotted the activity, the one performing the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there is something in it for everyone, and Johnsonville might just reward you for your behavior and or participation. So use the QR code for more information on how you can make a submission, or head on over to LakePointSports.com or our social channels to access the submission form. And in a moment that exemplifies bringing the positive to the internet, here is CYO Braves Jeremiah McGeechee with a play so good the umpire had to give his appreciation. Stuff there from Jeremiah McGeechee in a play I'm sure he won't soon forget. 1-1 is our score here in the game of the day from Southeast Select. Cory McCartney along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham, as we've got this matchup between BC Athletics and 6'4" DP. We're going to have Wessel still out on the mound. No, excuse me, Tyler Bennett taking over. Talked about Tyler Bennett on his way to senior feature games. So we're going to see him replace Wessel on the mound. Seen a little bit of what Bennett can do. Got him with a fastball around 87. Also got a changeup around 80, curveball, 75 slider in the 74 to 76 range at a Christian Academy in Knoxville.
Yeah, another two-way guy. Leading off for him right now.
Yep.
Hopping up on the mound. So this is another case. I think that, you know, some of these guys, too, being uncommitted, I'm sure they have offers, you know, that they talk about kind of both ways. Maybe one just pitching, maybe one just hitting. You know, coaches will do that with some of these two-way guys. So depending on what they want to do, I think, you know, they take that into consideration. But Tyler Bennett obviously looking like he could be a two-way guy at the next level.
Yeah, I'm sure that has to be a difficult thing too. Like if you really see yourself as something else and the opportunities just aren't there, you know, maybe you bet on yourself a little bit longer, and now the senior future games gives these guys a chance to bet on themselves a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Anthony Zarzana will lead things off for 6-4-3. He'll be followed by Aiden Zagarin and then Brady McDonough. Zarzana 0 for 1. No, looks like Bennett hit him. Well, the last time we saw a pitcher come in, hit the first battery face, he struck out 3 guys. So we'll see if Tyler Bennett can follow suit and follow the steps of Paget Wilson. Here's Aiden Zagarin. Skies that one. Right fielder camps underneath. He's got it. Zarzana retreats to first. Now here's Brady McDonough, the DH. Ball gets away from the catcher. Zarzana makes his way to second. Healthy lead at second from Zarzana.
Brady was on that one, just missed it there. Good pitch, though, down in the zone. Low 80s.
See what Bennett has for him in the 1-1. Miss makes it 2-1.
Yeah, you can tell that arm from, from playing the infield really translate on the mound here for Bennett. Has kind of a shorter, quick action.
Glances back at Zarzana. Fires. Skies that one foul.
I know Carson Vick on deck is eager to get another shot with runners in scoring position.
McDonough watches that one right down the middle for strike 3.
Yeah, I thought that was 3.
Yeah, I think he was unclear if it was 3, but yep. So he goes down on strikes, does Brady McDonough. We'll have a runner at second. The former Anthony Zarzana is now Carson Vick strides to the plate.
Yeah, good breaking ball there. It looked like it kind of backed up a little bit, so I don't think it had the complete break that McDonough was looking for, but obviously a good pitch to freeze him up for the strikeout.
Whew. The duck out of the way of that. Bennett buzzes the tower to make it 1-0. Vick jumps on this one, skies it into right field. That one's going to drop down. Here comes Zarzana. Throw's not going to be in time. Just cuts off by shortstop there, and so we'll have a 2-1 lead for 6-4-3 as Carson Vick comes through with an RBI single to make it 2-1.
Yeah, really good swing there from him. Just took the pitch on the outer half the other way. Not trying to do too much.
So from Carson Vick to Colin Manning. Big hack off that pitch at 84. Now 4 hits or 6-4-3.
Looks like a line out first baseman there, it looked like.
But not before 6-4-3 DP takes a 2-1 lead over BC Athletics in our game of the day from Southeast Select Play. Hudson, man, appreciate it. As always, we'll be back with more action from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
To LakePoint Sports, 2-1 is the lead for 6-4-3 DP over BC Athletics in our game of the day from Southeast Select 17U action. Cory McCartney now joined by Riley Klingman. Paget Wilson will continue on the mound, came through with 3 strikeouts, left the bases loaded as he came in relief of Isaac Brody, and He'll now face off against Mac McCord, and then the top of the order, Tyler Bennett and Cameron Cooper for BC Athletics as they try to respond after 6-4-3 DP took a 2-1 lead in the fourth. And Riley, this is a deep 6-4-3 DP lineup, as Hudson Graham was talking about, and it just kind of felt like eventually they were going to find a way to take this lead. Now it's on BC Athletics to find a way to respond.
Yeah, it definitely is. 6-4-3 kind of was messing around there early on the base path. Same thing with BC. We'll see if BC can kind of get something going here in the top of the fifth, especially with that top of the order coming up. Yeah,
Paget Wilson, I mean, guy walked into a tough situation, kind of hits the first batter he sees, then and winds up with the bases loaded and just decides to strike 3 guys out. And as Hudson was talking about, the late run on that fastball and that arm angle makes for a really tricky situation for a batter. A swing and a miss makes it 2-1.
Yeah, Paget Wilson, he's also not going to blow you away on the mound, but he, like Hudson said earlier, he utilizes that late life on that fastball to really keep you on your toes as a hitter.
2-1 count to McCord. That's going to get him. So if this follows suit the last time, he's now going to get 3 strikeouts. So his second hit by pitch as McCord makes his way down to first base, and we're now back to the top of the order, and Tyler Bennett, who is now taken over on the mound for BC Athletics.
Yeah, Tyler Bennett's 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the first inning on a 3-2 count. He did a great job in that first inning to work the count against left-hander Isaac Brody, who topped out at 88, and then he grounded out to third base in his second at bat.
Against righties, Wilson really likes living on that outside part of the plate. I think that late run on that fastball is making it a tricky read for every batter he's faced. We've seen a lot of guys get frozen on that pitch. That one didn't fall his way, though, as he throws over to first.
Yeah, that off-speed pitch going away is also playing well for him, because that umpire really has kind of been very lenient on that outside part of the plate this afternoon as well.
1-0 count to Bennett. Goes right back to that spot, and this time he does get it for a strike. It's tough to read because it looks identical to the last pitch that he threw that was a ball. But obviously, as Hudson says, it's kind of hard with a ball that has that much late life to it to really see how much it's trailing in. Goes right back to it. Looked like 3 straight pitches that were the exact same pitch, but the count's now 2-1.
Yeah, that was just a little bit too much outside there. More right on top of the white line of that left-handed batter's box.
See what he does here on the 2-1 to Bennett. He's got a runner at first. Tries to drop in a breaking ball in the same spot. Doesn't get it. Makes it 3-1. Bennett's going to be followed by Cameron Cooper.
Well, I would like to see Paget continue to pepper that outside corner to see if he can get Tyler to roll over a ground ball here and get a nice, easy, possible 4-6-3 double play on a ground ball to the right side.
See an additional ball come onto the field from one of the other fields here in this this north quad. Comes a 3-1. Swing and a miss. Staying on that outer half against Bennett. Really been living there since he's come into this game. Comes the payoff pitch. Goes right back to it. Vic fires to second.
It's ball 4.
That's ball 4.
So Paget is getting himself into some trouble here in the top of the fifth, and for a 6-4-3 that just took the lead in the bottom of the fourth inning on a opposite right center field base hit from Brady McDonough. Kind of finding themselves in a jam here in the top of the fifth with nobody out, and the number 2 hole hitter coming up to the plate, who's already been hit by a pitch and has a stolen base, and center fielder Cameron Cooper.
That's right. So Cooper now get an opportunity here, and we'll see what conversations we have for Paget Wilson as he's allowed the first 2 batters to reach.
Do you think Paget Wilson's might be on a short leash here? Like, do you think if he ends up either hitting Cameron Cooper, letting up a base hit, or ends up throwing a walk, do you think that the coach will come back out and kind of give this self-induced or self-inflicted wound from Paget Wilson to another bullpen arm?
Yeah, it's interesting to think on because Isaac Brody looked like he was pitching really well, was only 40 pitches in, and he walks a guy and then ends up getting replaced by Paget Wilson. Again, as Hudson said, we really don't know, what all goes into that decision. He could have other, could have been going to visits or camps, or he could be doing any number of things that, we don't know about, getting him some additional throws. But, yeah, you got to wonder how long the leash is going to be because it seemed like it was a little shorter with Brody than maybe his having allowed one hit to that point had indicated. But we'll see with Wilson. Last time he found himself in trouble, he absolutely responded. So let's see what he does here on this 0-1 count to Cooper. Sends that foul.
It's always very interesting to see the different types of strategies that head coaches use during these almost week-long tournaments. 6 days, you only have so much pitching to use, and maybe taking Isaac Brody out after 40 pitches is the head coach of 6-4-3 trying to say, hey, we want to save this guy for bracket play.
Yep. Yeah, maybe they saw enough out of him and want to save that arm, and he did pitch exceptionally well. One, two is the count to Cooper. Wilson fires, just misses, makes it 2-2.
It was a great idea there. 1-2 changeup. Hasn't thrown that a lot during this contest. He's really leaned on the two-seamer and the slider inside and away from right-handed hitters. So a good change of pace there from Paget Wilson.
The 2-2 is going to run the count full. One pitch away from loading the bases.
I would say up until this point, this is probably the biggest pitch of this ball game this afternoon from Paget Wilson, a 3-2 count that potentially, like you said, Corey, could load the bases here with nobody out in the top of the fifth.
He got out of the jam before, had the bases loaded, and stranded every one of them. Now he's going to walk the bases loaded.
Catcher Cole Hendrickson wanted that call in the outside corner because it feels like the umpire's been lenient on that side of the plate all game long, but
that will be it for Paget Wilson. So just like that, we're going to have another pitching change for 6-4-3. Isaac Brody was replaced by Paget Wilson. We'll see who takes over. Bases are now loaded with nobody out here in the top of the fifth. So waiting to see who's going to be the replacement pitcher. We wait here and suspend a moment of suspense, trying to see who's going to end up on the mound and see what number we've got here. It's going to be Ryan Zaparaniak. So Zaparaniak, North Springs High School, 6'3", 185-pounder. Gets fastball up around 82. He's got a curveball around 72, change up in the 67 to 69 range. So he'll be the third pitcher of the day for 6-4-3 DP. They've collectively allowed just 2 hits, 1 run so far for BC Athletics, but walks and hit by pitches find their way into the bases being loaded here in the 5th inning.
Kind of looks like the same type of scouting report for Ryan Zaparaniak. Looks like he has some late life on that fastball, some late run, and it seems like he's those in the same ballpark in terms of speed as Paget Wilson does. It'll be interesting to see what BC Athletics decides to do with the bases loaded and nobody out, because it seems like this is, once again, another prime scoring opportunity because they couldn't take advantage of the last one that they had in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, and they'll have Alex Ditmore at the plate from Knoxville Catholic, second-ranked second baseman in Tennessee in the class, 89th overall in 2025. Exit velo is around 90. Nice secondary pitch there as we just see the first glimpse of that from Zaparaniak. Started this game without I believe he was just an extra hitter. We actually didn't have him on our lineup with the position. I actually started out at first base. So Zapparini goes from first to the mound, and now he's got Alex Ditmore with nobody out, and the bases loaded here in the 5th. BC Athletics looking to claw their way back, potentially even take the lead if Ditmore can work this one into the gap. Sends that back foul. Ditmore will be followed by Isaiah Whited. And then Sammy Green. It's now 1-1. That was a tough situation for any pitcher to come in a relief appearance, let alone one where you come in with the bases loaded and nobody out, but that's the situation that Zapparaniak has inherited. Ditmore skies this one into center field. Stutzer's got it. Runner's taken off. Throw is going to be in time to play at the plate. Stutzer got him, so they take away the run. Still a 2-1 lead for 6'4" DP, and we just saw the Florida State commit showing out with the glove, showing out with the arm. I mean, that was an absolute bullet from John Stutzer in center field. Yeah, that was an absolute bullet, and I am so glad that the first baseman for 6'4" did not cut that ball off right in front of the mound, because if he did, this would be a completely different circumstance. We'd have a tie ball game between BC Athletics and 6'4". And I mean, holy cow, Stutzer with a phenomenal throw, a two-hopper right to his catcher, Carson Vick, and Carson Vick, a great tag as well, put on that base runner coming from third base. So denies BC Athletics the game-tying run. Just a great throw from John Stutzer. Looked like he wanted to do that the last time BC Athletics had the bases loaded. The runner kind of hesitated at third. Stutzer misplayed the ball and kind of dropped out of his hands, but the runner did not go. Thought we were going to have an opportunity to see that same moment, but man, just a laser from him. And the Pope 2025 came through and keeps 6'4" DP up 2-1.
6'4" with a massive double play, but they're still not out of the woods yet, as Zapparaniak has to get out of a first and second two-out jam still, because a base hit to the right side can still tie this game.
Well, swing and a miss there makes it 2-1. He's facing Isaiah Whited. Whited skies this one down the right side. It's going to go foul.
Looks like Tyler Bennett might have advanced to third base on that sac fly attempt from BC Athletics. I thought that he had stayed home at second base, but he did advance.
So he has runners at the corners. Oh, gets him on the corner. Nice job there from Ryan Zapparaniak. Man, for the second time, BC Athletics has the bases loaded and they can't come through. 6'4" DP continues to lead 2-1 as we move along in our game of the day from the Southeast Select. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again? Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
LakePoint Sports 6-4 3DP leads 2-1 over BC Athletics in our game of the day from Southeast Select Play. Cory McCartney along with Riley Klingman. Tyler Bennett going to be back on the mound for BC Athletics. He'll be facing off against the guy who was just on the mound for 6-4 3DP and Ryan Zaparaniak. And then we're back to the top of the order with Mason Gazaway and John Stutzer. Swing and a miss from Zaparaniak. Kind of a demoralizing inning, I'm sure, for 6-4-3. You get the bases loaded for the second time. The first time you were not able to come through, as we saw 3 strikeouts from Paget Wilson, and then once again they're denied. The bases loaded. Man, absolutely ropes that one. 81 off the bat, just barely missed that one.
Yeah, this would be a phenomenal time for 6-4-3 to get one more run and get a much-needed insurance run, because it feels like no matter what jam they get in during this afternoon's ball game, it seems like they have the pitching staff and the defense behind all their pitchers to get out of a lot of jams.
Bennett bounces that. Yeah, Hudson Graham said 6-4 3DP will be back this weekend for the 17U National Championship. This is going to be a tough out for anybody trying to take down these guys as they try to get themselves a national title. Full count to Zaparaniak. Oh, he hits him. So now you're getting to the top of the order with Gazaway and Stutzer. Trouble could be brewing here for BC Athletics. Gazaway 0 for 2.
Yeah, Gazaway had a strikeout back in the first inning, and then he flew out to the popped out to the shortstop, excuse me, back in the third inning. So if anybody's due at the top of the order, it's Mason Gazaway, and what a wonderful opportunity to do it right here in the bottom of the 5th to grow 6-4-3's lead.
Gets the bunt down, but it goes foul.
Kind of like that approach from the left-handed hitter in Mason Gazaway. Try to lay a bunt down the third base line. Maybe, you know, both runners are safe at second and first in Mason Gazaway and Ryan Zaparaniak.
Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Just misses in the outside corner. That one kind of sailed on him arm side. Gazaway to John Stutzer in the on-deck circle. Now 2-2. 6-4-3. 2 runs on 4 hits. BC Athletics 1 run on 2 hits. Gazaway puts that down the left side. On the run set, that's going to go foul, and the AB will continue.
It's a good at bat for Mason Gazaway, who found himself quickly in the hole with an 0-2 count after he bunted a ball foul and swung and missed at a fastball in the inner half. He's done a nice job here against Tyler Bennett to keep the at bat alive.
He's still staying alive as he flicks that one foul.
Tyler Bennett's also done a great job on the mound for BC Athletics during this AB, changing, you know, throwing different pitches, mixing up speeds, and trying to keep Mason Gazaway as off balance as possible.
Another foul. This is turning into a lengthy at bat.
This is also why Mason Gazaway is in that leadoff spot, because 6-4-3 wants a guy that's going to compete, a guy that's going to foul off tough pitches until he can get his pitch and put it in play and put his boys in the right position to strike.
Runner's taken off for second base. Count's now full, excuse me, to Gazaway. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-1 lead for 6-4-3. Bennett fires, misses, so we'll have runners at first and second for John Stutzer.
Phenomenal AB. We would call that a quab. Quality AB.
There you go. Well, he certainly, Gazaway did, worked his way into that spot on first base. So what do you do here with John Stutzer? You know he's going to be looking to do some damage and add to that lead. We've already seen a rocket of a single out of him. Then he walks, steals 2 bases, gets driven in by Mason McCullum. Saw him throw a runner out from center field. We've pretty much seen the entire game from one of the top players in the country and a Florida State commit. Now he's got a chance to do some more damage at the plate and extend this 6-4-3 DP lead. This is, I think, every player that's on the field right now, this is the absolute last guy you want to be facing if you're Tyler Bennett now with runners on.
Yeah, and especially with John Stutzer, a guy that can hammer off-speed pitches. And Tyler Bennett doesn't have a sharp curveball. It kind of floats in there. So I feel like if Tyler Bennett hangs a curveball here and John Stutzer's looking for it, he's going to be all over it.
Stutzer 1 for 1. Bennett glances back to second. Misses. Go from Stutzer to Grayson McCullum, who's got an RBI single today. RBI double, excuse me. Looked like it was going to be a home run as he skies that one. Third baseman runs, got it. So they get Stutzer to fly out, and they'll now be 1 down for Grayson McCullum.
Yeah, it was a fastball that just got up on him a little bit too quick there. Little jam sandwich off the handle of the bat. He just popped it straight up into the air to the third baseman of BC Athletics, Alex Ditmore, for out number 1. But that's a massive out number 1 for Tyler Bennett on the mound.
McCullum, who already has an RBI double on his ledger, just missed a home run. That was back in the 3rd inning when he scored Stutzer after his back-to-back stolen bases on consecutive pitches. It's under this one. Unfortunately, our camera's not going to give us the view on that. They get the out, though, and so there'll be 2 down. So the 2 big bats in the forms of Stutzer and McCullum both fly out, and here's Carson Zagarin.
He has a ground out and a fly out this afternoon against BC Athletics.
Tyler Bennett can keep this to a 1-run lead for 6-4-3. Misses outside. Comes the 1-0. Watches that one right down the middle. 34th pitch coming in for Bennett as he misses low. Two runners on, 2-1 count to Zagarin, swing and a miss. Tyler Bennett 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. We've seen some impressive performances from guys with their backs against the wall so far in this game. We'll see what Tyler Bennett does on the 2-2. He's going to run the count full.
It's not a bad idea, though, from Tyler Bennett. The previous 2 pitches were both fastballs that were blown by Aiden Zagarin. He was late on both of them, and they were both on the inner half, and he goes with a off-speed pitch way off the plate to try to get him fishing for it.
We had a pitch to give Zagorn skies that on the run. Right fielder able to make the catch on the run and falls down as he does so. 6'4" DP strands 2, but they still lead 2-1 over BC Athletics. We'll be back. You are watching the game of the day from Southeast Select.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
One's the lead for 6'4" DP in our game of the day from the Southeast Select. Cory McCartney now joined by Grayson Rosen as we come at you from the color coordinated department here out of the clubhouse store here on campus.
Yeah, not the first time me and Cory have worn the same shirt. On
Seems
a
to
day
be,
of a
yeah,
broadcast.
yeah. And there's a variety of shirts in the store, but it seems like it happens quite a bit that we show up here at the baseball village or on campus with the same clothes on. So obviously on the same wavelength. And watch Ryan Zaparaniak fire that one down the middle. He's got Sammy Green frozen for a strikeout. I feel like that's exactly what happened to Sammy Green the last time he was up when he was facing Paget Wilson as he got frozen on strike 3.
Yeah, Zaparaniak just looked phenomenal in this time that he's been in the game. He comes in after a hit-by-pitch walk, enters the game with that, and then forces the double play on that fly out to John Stetzer, and he got the play there at home. But yeah, he's looked great right now and starts it off with a strikeout for the 6th.
So Sammy Green goes down on the strikeout and gives way to Cole Wessel, who's got an 0-1 count. Make it 1-1. It's interesting. It's just a one-run game, but the way that 6'4" has been able to stifle everything that BC Athletics has thrown at them, loading the bases twice and denying them both times, it really feels like it's a much bigger deficit than just one run. But obviously, one swing of the bat could change everything for BC Athletics, and they could still get an opportunity here in a crucial time to get some of their big at-bats up, as we'll see them kind of roll through and potentially get near that top of the lineup and Tyler Bennett into the 7th inning.
Yeah, and I feel like early in this game, when BC Athletics opened up the scoring, 6'4" had gotten some base runners on, but they hadn't done anything with it. It seemed like maybe the momentum was in their favor. Maybe they'd keep stacking them on, but you're right, 6'4", they've just turned this thing around. They've done such a great job just not allowing runs, pitching in good positions. This one flies out to center field for Stetzer.
Yeah, Wessel gets underneath that one, so there'll be one down, and now he's going to give two down. Excuse me. He's going to give way to Landon Wells.
But yeah, 6'4", just since they gave up that run, has done a phenomenal job of just playing base to base on offense and showing some fantastic defense in the field and some great pitching as well.
So actually, Landon Wells is going to be replaced by a pinch hitter. This is Davis Nitri. Nitri from William Blount High School. It's now 2-0. Nitri exit velos are on 94. 6'3", 188-pounder. That's a strike.
Just looks lights out right now.
Yeah, just come in pumping strikes. A nice breaking ball for the strike. I feel like Paget Wilson, he had that inning where he strikes out 3 and maybe found, okay, I might be able to live on the left side of the plate and try to keep going back to it as he goes down on strikes. Does exactly what Paget Wilson was doing so well. But, Zapparini just comes in and absolutely firing. 6-4-3 DP. They got a 2-1 lead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Where's it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage. And keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty mic.
Moving along to the bottom of the 6th inning in our game of the day from the Southeast Select. 2-1 is the lead for 6-4-3 DP over BC Athletics. Cory McCartney joined by Grayson Rosen. Tyler Bennett will be back on the mound for BC Athletics, and he'll be facing off against Anthony Zarzana, Aiden Zagarin, and Brady McDonough. Bennett did a nice job working out of a jam himself, stranding 2 runners in the 5th inning as he came in relief in the 4th. He replaced Cole Wessel, who was off to a strong start. 6-4-3 DP, though, looking for one more insurance run, but the way that they've had pitching from Ryan Zapparini, who came in, they got to feel awfully good about where they're at arms-wise, but certainly plenty more guys on their bench who could come in and supply some more firepower if need be.
Yeah, I'm sure Zapparini's probably telling his guys, like, please get me some insurance runs,
Yeah.
But with the way he's pitching right now, you're right. He might not even need it.
It is interesting, though, as I mentioned before we left in the last inning, you saw Paget Wilson have so much success on the left side of the plate. I think he kind of fell in love with staying in that spot.
Yeah.
The thing that Zapparini, he's going back to it, but he's also kind of mixing in a little bit more locations. And I think once Paget Wilson found that spot, and you can't knock the guy. He was having so much success
Especially
hitting
when
the
the
same
umpire's going to
location.
call it.
Yep.
If you know that the umpire's strike zone is going to leak out just a little bit left of the plate and you're facing a heavily right-handed lineup, you're going to have to exploit that as much as you can, but you shouldn't rely on it. And I think that might have been what he kind of fell into. And then, but you're right, Zapparini, he's come in and just he's locating all around the zone, and you can't. He's unpredictable right now. Is the biggest thing about his game.
Tyler Bennett bounces that. It's going to make it 2-0 to Zarzana, who's 0 for 1.
It looks like maybe the sweat is getting to him. A common theme here with these games once we get into that later half, or that early part of the afternoon, mid-afternoon, and you get later into these games, the sweat is just unavoidable.
Yeah, absolutely rips that one foul. Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams will have a towel back behind the mound to kind of help with mitigate some of that, but Tyler Bennett just going to have to work his way through this one, see if his offense can pick things up in the top of the 7th. Bennett will hit, scheduled to hit 3rd in the 7th inning.
That one's hard hit.
Yeah, hard hit ball into glove of the center fielder, though, on the run. Nice job by there, Cameron Cooper on the run to be able to make that off-balance catch.
Yeah, way out of center field as
yeah.
well.
Showing off the wheels there. What do we got Cameron Cooper at in terms of the...
That was some fantastic range.
Got him at
right
a 7.360. I would venture to say a little bit faster than that because he
Maybe
showed
he got
some
a good
wheels.
jump.
Yeah, he showed some wheels though on his way to tracking that one down.
Definitely. And that was a hard hit ball into a spot in the field where a lot of times that ball is going to drop and maybe roll to the wall. So fantastic job getting over there for our center fielder.
It's Carson Zagarin.
kind of hoping that he can get on, maybe set up Brady McDonough once again.
Excuse me. This is Aiden Zagarin. So we had a little bit of confusion on our box score.
Gotcha.
But this is Aiden. They have been dealing with people getting them confused for the last 17 years. So
they are as identical twins come.
Zagarin rips that one down the left side, gets through the shortstop's glove into left, so he's going to have a 1-out single. So from Zagarin to Brady McDonough. Dunnig 0 for 1. That was the 5th hit for 6-4-3. Carson Vick in the on-deck circle. Then it'll be Cole Manning if the inning continues.
I think this is a fantastic opportunity. You've got a very good player here on the bases that could definitely move around. And if you can at least put something in play that gets him over the hump, it'd be great. But if he can steal second here, maybe get a lucky pass ball or just a straight-up steal, this would set up his team for a very good look at some insurance.
Watches that to make it 3-0. Well, he's going to end up walking him on 4 pitches. So now we'll go from Brady McDonough on his way down to first, and now Carson Vick at the plate. First mound visit that we've had so far with Tyler Bennett. See how long he gets to continue if he does get to. It looks like that's going to be it for Bennett, as he's going to exit after 49 pitches.
Seems like both of these teams being pretty conservative here with their pitch counts, not wanting to waste the guy's arm, maybe hoping to see some of these guys in bracket play later.
Yeah, it could well be the case. We could see Tyler Bennett pitch again before things are all said and done here over the next 2 days. Championship games will be played late Tuesday, so we've been used to tournaments winding up on Wednesday, but that will not be the case, as we'll see the entirety of bracket play on Tuesday. So you're going to need a lot of arms to be able to get through Southeast Select with a championship.
Definitely, and then that turns right over into 17U National Championships, which I believe both of these teams will be back for.
Landon Wells now on the mound out of Halls High School in Tennessee. And with a fastball around 81, change up around 71, curveball 66 to 68. Got a slider as well in the 62-63 range. Works his first offering at 76.
And so this one's a really big one for placement in this group. Both these teams come into this game 3-0. BC Athletics has only allowed 1 run prior to this game, so they've doubled their runs allowed here, but they've scored 29 in their first 3 games of this tournament, and then 6-4-3, 4 runs allowed, 17 runs scored in their 3 wins. So right now 6-4-3 definitely has it, but you can't count out the offense for BC Athletics, because in these past 3 games they're averaging just under 10 runs a game.
Yeah, their game on Thursday they won 10-1 over SEB. Friday they won 11-1 over SBA Bombers. Saturday they won 8-1 over USA Prime Prospects, and then obviously trailing 2-1 right now. Meanwhile, 6-4-3 DP. 5-1 winners Thursday over SBA Bombers. Friday, that was Thursday. Friday they won 7-2 over USA Prime Prospects. Saturday 5-2 win over Nelson Baseball School. And they'll have Monday, they'll have SEB, and Monday BC Athletics will be facing Nelson Baseball School.
Yeah, pretty surprising to see this little amount of offensive action from these two sides, but I think it's just a matter of the 2 top teams in this group facing off and showing their best stuff.
Well, now Carson Vick, 2 for 2, is going to be facing off against the new pitcher, Landon Wells. Got Wells listed as the 5th-ranked second baseman in Tennessee. Vick shows bunt, pulls back. 106 overall in the class. 6-foot, 165-pounder. Got an 0-1 count to Carson Vick.
Was time called there? Looked like.
I believe it was. So still going to be an 0-1 count to Vick, who's 2 for 2. He's got a chance to blow this thing open.
You're looking for something, hopefully into the gap, maybe bring those runners around. You could definitely score something into the outfield.
Another miss makes it 2-1.
It's definitely a big moment here for both sides. Honestly, this is where 6-4-3 could potentially run away with it, and maybe BC Athletics could hold them off here and keep working.
Rips that one back foul. Seen a few different variations on the delivery from Wells. There was really no leg kick at all on that, just the tiniest of slide steps as he throws.
Yeah, I think he's definitely worried about some runners moving around, and I would too. I'd like to keep them at first and second if I could.
Wells glances back, throws the 1-2, sends that one foul.
Vic definitely bringing a defensive approach to the plate this time around. He's not really that worried about squaring one up or getting perfect timing, being early. He just, if it's a strike, he wants to put his bat on it.
This will be the 5th pitch. Hanging breaking ball and rips that one foul.
Yeah, a lot of these pitches are just ones where it's like you don't want to take the chance and watch that one go by, because that one easily could have dropped into the top of the zone and gotten a call. So, once again, a great job by Vic just playing defense here right now.
See if he can keep swatting the offerings from Wells away and get what he wants to try to extend the 6-4 3DP lead. Goes back to the same breaking ball and glances that one off, makes it 2-2.
I don't blame Wills for trying that one again. After you saw him swing at that first one, maybe you try and elevate it a little bit more, get him to swing so low under it that he has no chance of even making contact, but it was a great eye right there by Vic.
Another errant ball on the field. Saw Tyler Bennett field that one, throw it back.
I do want to say, I was over taking pictures on the first base side in the first inning, and the atmosphere in those two dugouts, both sides, was ridiculous. I haven't seen that much yelling and just enthusiasm out of two teams. Oh, man.
Man, Carson Vick just missed that ball. 87 off the bat. It looked like it was 107 the way that he swatted at that thing. I was actually surprised by the readout that it said just 87 because, man, that was looked like it had a launch code attached to it because that was just a rocket off of his bat. But counts 2-2. He has seen, I mean, the next pitch will be the 8th of this at bat.
I thought we might hear a car alarm in the parking lot.
Yeah, we've seen it. He's seen everything that Landon Wells has to offer. Fires again, sends this one foul.
Keeps it going. At this point, no matter how this at bat ends, it's very impressive what Carson Vick's done.
Yeah, just keeps swatting him away, and man, I would have loved to have seen the landing spot of that ball that he absolutely roped. Had to go up into the zone to get it. Another one.
He just keeps going. This is impressive.
Well, meanwhile, he's got us on the verge of timing out. So 6-4 3DP is the home team. So
maybe that's the approach. Maybe that's what Coach wanted out of him. Just sit here and make this take as long as possible.
Well, he's eaten plenty of time and sends that one 73 off the bat, sends it into left field. Runner's taken off for home. Throw's coming. Is it going to be in time? It will not. 6'4" DP now leads 3-1 as Carson Vick worked a 10-pitch at bat to get himself an RBI single to make him 3 for 3 on the day. And man, what can you say? That was he saw everything Landon Wells had to offer. Looked like he ripped one that was going to be landing, as you said, in the parking lot. Just stays alive, and another pitch later, he's able to come through. 2 pitches later, able to come through with an RBI single, and that was just an impressive at bat.
Yeah, your patience has paid off right there. That was very impressive to continue to do that, and not even really wasn't even really in danger of a walk either. Like, that didn't even seem like a possibility. It was a hit or something was going to happen. And we see this squeeze right here. Looks like he's going to reach.
Yeah, Manning gets it down, able to reach, so the bases are going to be loaded.
You just capitalize on momentum right there. That was, the whole defense is totally off from where they just were. You just sat there and did nothing for 10 pitches. They come out with this single, and then first pitch of the at-bat, you lay down the bunt. You just totally capping on momentum right there, and it works out. Now you got bases loaded, 1 out in a 2-run ball game.
So a 3-1 lead, and here's Zaparaniak. Down to just 2 minutes left on the clock in this one. 1 out, runners taken off, throw not going to be in time as he kind of fumbled the ball going back for it. So another run's going to score, makes it 4-1.
Yeah, it's tough on the catcher. Sometimes it's so hard to just play it off that bounce off the backstop, and it barehanded especially, and knowing that runner is coming home, it's a tough play to make.
An inning that's kind of gotten away from BC Athletics as Zaparaniak skies that one back. A really long at bat from Carson Vick. Feels like it took about 2.5 minutes, if not longer.
Yeah, this is great play in this entire bottom of the 6th that we've seen from 6'4"
I say 2.5 minutes, probably about 5 minutes at bat.
Yeah.
That one gets away.
Doesn't look like anybody's coming
No,
home.
everyone's staying put. 4-1 is now the lead for 6'4" DP, and that's it. We got a ball game, and we got a 6-4 win. 4-1 is the victory over BC Athletics in our game of the day from Southeast Select. We'll be back here from LakePoint Sports as we talk player of the game.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney along with Grayson, Rosen. 6'4" DP, 4-1 winners over BC Athletics in this pool play action from the Southeast Select. And a big win for 6'4" DP in terms of, we talked about jockeying for position in this pool. These were the top 2 teams going into today in their pool, and 6'4" able to come away with a 4-1 win. We talked about momentum. BC Athletics seemed to have it early. They twice get the bases loaded in what felt like a 2-1 game. It was really more like a 10-1 game. It ends up being 4-1. 6'4" just able to kind of take advantage of things and stifling everything that BC Athletics had to throw at them.
Yeah, they looked dominant throughout the game, and I think a part of that is that they had so many kind of come-from-behind pitching moments there. You had Paget Wilson come in, and he looked great. And then when he started to slip up, Zaparanik came in and looked great, and then you kind of bring it all together with that fantastic offensive kind of just performance. The whole offensive performance seemed to be that bottom of the 6th inning where we saw numerous great performances by these guys at the plate, totally changing their approach, and then they end up obviously being capped off with that Carson Vick at bat that just simply wasted time.
Yeah, Carson Vick ends up as our player of the game and goes 3 for 3. So when you think about the 7 hits the 6'4" DP had, he had 3 of them. They score 4 runs. He drives in 2 of them.
Yeah.
That last at bat, though, 10 pitches. Landon Wells comes in relief. And Carson Vick saw everything that he had to offer multiple times. Ends up roping one that looked like it was 105 off the bat. Our radar somehow just said the TrackMan had it at 81. But that looked like an absolute bullet. Then 2 pitches later, the 10th pitch of that AB, he ends up driving in a big run for 6-4-3. And that just felt like, in terms of being able to, get all those pitches and they drained the time and they ended up winning, via the clock expiring. But that also felt like the kind of at bat where he just saw everything and it was downright impressive.
Yeah, it really was. That was obviously the most impressive part of his day, but going 3 for 3, getting those 2 RBIs, which was huge in this game. It was the deciding factor in this game, honestly, because that later run kind of scored on some errors, but those 2 RBIs that he hit in were the deciding points in this game, and it was a huge performance by Carson Vick. Obviously, they also run them out of time. They don't give BC Athletics the chance to come up in the top of the 7th in that inning, and it set up this fantastic rush of momentum where right after this 10-pitch at bat, you catch BC Athletics all kind of just sitting around waiting for something to happen. Then they have this hit happen. They're totally kind of knocked off the momentum, and then they lay down a bunt. They reach on a bunt. They end up scoring off that on an error, and it's just – that is what made all the dominoes fall there in the bottom of the 6th and what earned 6-4-3 this win.
Let's not also underscore Carson Vick was behind the plate for 6-4-3 in this one. They had 9 strikeouts between Isaac Brody, Paget Wilson, and Ryan Zaparaniak. Carson Vick did a heck of a job behind the plate as well, working things back there and making his pitchers look good. So a real standout performance from the 9th-ranked catcher in Georgia, a 96 player overall in the class of 2025 out of Hillgrove High School. So Carson Vick winds up as our player of the game in this 4-1 win for 6-4-3 DP over BC Athletics in pool play in Southeast Select. So big win for 6-4-3 DP. Again, the championship games in this one will be played late Tuesday. They'll play the entirety of bracket play on Tuesday in this one. And make sure you join us this weekend as we'll have 17U action coming for you this weekend. You'll be able to stream that across all of our social channels, and we'll also bring you that championship game the following Tuesday. And then guess what? Rolling right into feature games so that it never stops here at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. So until next time, for Grayson Rosen and producer Jack McCartney in the back, I'm Cory McCartney, and we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.